It's August, which means it's also Black Business Month. 6 years ago, I started my business, FKB Media Solutions, and last year I launched my production company, FKB Media Productions Inc. So, in this YouTube video, I'm going to share a few lessons I learned in the early days of entrepreneurship, and hopefully, you can benefit from my experiences. Man, when I started my own business, I had big dreams like every entrepreneur. I thought that, I'd be on easy street, counting the money, being my own boss. I could call the shots. I could work my own hours. So some of the unexpected things that I obviously didn't expect was that, yes, being your own boss with no staff means that you do everything. So I was the accountant. I was the administrative assistant. I was the IT person. I was the web designer. I was legal advice. I was everything. I had to do a lot of research in a lot of different areas to make sure that I was running my business correctly. So there was definitely a learning curve. And then as my business grew, I was able to outsource some of those responsibilities to actual professionals. But I definitely wasn't prepared for all of the other things that I had to learn on the go when I became an entrepreneur. When I look back at it, one of the things that I definitely would tell myself is to set boundaries, especially when you're working from home. You have to really be disciplined, and you have to really make sure that you have a regimented schedule, and you have to make sure that other people respect the fact that even though they can see you, you're at work and they can't just act like you're at home and you can do the things that you would normally do, say, on a Saturday or Sunday when you're at home. So I think that was one of the things that I really had to figure out, and even boundaries for myself in terms of working very long hours, longer than I would have worked if I was working for someone, knowing when to shut down, knowing when to not take calls from people, and just really making sure that I transferred sort of that corporate kind of world into my home environment, because I have a home office, and set that up so that people understood that even though I'm at home, or maybe I'm accessible by cell phone all the time, I'm not necessarily going to take your call outside of business hours or respond to your email outside of business hours, because then I would never, ever have a life. I think the two things I would say that I wish I had better understood when I started out with this public relations, media training, media consulting company was that I was really going to have to educate people about what they had to do. And the things that I took for granted or came easy to me or that I automatically knew, they didn't automatically knew. So it was a process of me understanding that there was a bigger learning curve for people coming into this situation who were new to it, and understanding the whole idea of branding, key messaging, getting your message out, presenting yourself to the media, accessing the media, what makes a good story, all of those things. I was the expert, yes, but I kind of assumed that people would get it automatically, and it was a process of actually teaching them. And I think the second thing that I would say that I wish I better understood is that even though working in journalism, I had a pretty thick skin, but I had to actually learn also not to always take things personal. If I thought something was a great story, maybe one outlet didn't think it was a great story, and then I realized, hey, you know what? Pitch it to someone else. They might see the vision. And so I had to learn not to take it as a personal thing. It just maybe wasn't right for whoever I was talking to at the time, and to move on and to go back another time with some other story and not take it personal and say, oh, I'm not going to talk to that outlet or producer or reporter again. Maybe that wasn't the right story for them. Find one that is. I didn't have a lot of setbacks when I was I haven't actually had a lot of setbacks in my business. I've been very specific and particular about people that I work with, and I try to pick people that I want to work with, and story and projects that I'm passionate about, so that it's a good connection. I have had maybe a couple of incidences where maybe it wasn't working out, and what I found is I have to remind myself that I'm the boss. So one of the things that I wanted to be able to do was to control what I wanted to do. And so I had to, be forthright with the person or the client and explain what it was that was not working, or what it was that I needed for this to work. And if it wasn't going to, work out, then we were going to have to part ways. And I had to, within myself, realize that it's okay to say this isn't working out, even though I'm a person who likes to complete a project when I started or have success with it. Sometimes, for whatever reason, something is not clicking and you have to learn to let it go. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, was learning to walk away from something if it's really not working. The top 3 things that I would advise any entrepreneur, I would say, is number 1, make sure you have a good accountant and lawyer. These are very key if you want to run your business properly. I would say probably an accountant is the most important because you don't want to have a problem with taxes. Secondly, I would say make sure that you have a vision and a goal and you stick to it. Don't let other people take you off your path. One of the things that I found was that because I could do a lot, I had a lot of skill sets. When someone asked me to do something because I could do it, I was doing it in my first year. And then I realized, hey, that actually isn't part of my business plan. So make sure that you have a business plan, A, and that you stick to it and don't get swayed or, lured by, money or, something that you say, well, I can do that, but it's not part of your business, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And I would say the third thing is give yourself a break. It's so important to step back, assess how your business is running, reset. I try to do that every year in January, and I look at November and December to slow things down and reflect and make sure that you're on the right path for your business, and also you're giving yourself a break. What you don't want to do is to burn out, and that is what a lot of entrepreneurs do because they try to do everything and they don't give themselves a break. You need to have balance, and that's something I can't emphasize enough. Get your balance. So I would love to hear your entrepreneurial story, especially if you're a Black business owner. Leave your comments below. Tell us your story. Leave some tips, some ideas for other people, and share your experiences. Also, make sure you head to my website, fkbmedia.com/DLC, where you can download my worksheets for free. You can use the password YouTube, all caps, and get that information. While you're there, head to the last page and sign up for our newsletter to gain access to videos and worksheets the day before they come out. And additionally, you can follow us on Instagram and Threads at FKB Media. I would love for you guys to check it out. I have lots of updates on there, new videos that are uploaded, fun reels. So make sure you follow me there. In the meantime, be well, work with purpose, and I'll see you next time.